NASA is going back to the moon. And no, it's not because they forgot what it looks like. We already did that part. We have the photos, we have the footprints, we have the rocks sitting in labs. Apollo proved that humans could leave Earth, land on another world, walk away for a bit, somehow not fall over constantly, and come back alive. Which is still insane, by the way. But that was the first question. Can we get there? Artemis is asking the next question. What happens after that? Because this time the moon isn't really the finish line, it is the test site. And that changes the whole story. Apollo was a flag on the ground. Artemis is supposed to be the start of a system, a way to test whether humans can keep going back, operate beyond Earth, build equipment that actually works out there, and survive long enough for any of this to matter. That sounds less flashy than giant rocket goes boom in a cool way, but honestly, it's more important. Because space exploration isn't just about getting somewhere once. That's the trailer. The real problem is staying alive after the cool part ends. And that's why the moon makes sense. The moon is close, kind of. It's still about 250,000 miles away, so not exactly a quick drive to target, but compared to Mars, it's way closer. A crew can get there in a few days. If something breaks, there's at least a chance to react, change the plan, or come home. Mars isn't like that. Mars is months away. Help isn't showing up quickly, there's no roadside assistance, there's no, hey, can someone swing by with a spare oxygen system? If a serious problem happens out there, that problem becomes the mission. So before humans try to survive that from Earth, the moon gives us something useful. A place that's close enough to learn from mistakes, but hostile enough to make those mistakes very real. The moon is basically space's tutorial level. Still deadly, just slightly less rude than Mars. There's no air, no oceans, no trees, no weather, no magnetic shield protecting people the way Earth does. There's radiation, extreme temperature swings, rough terrain, landing hazards, communication delays, power problems, life support problems, and dust. So much dust. And lunar dust isn't just dirt. It's sharp, abrasive, glassy powder that wants to ruin your very expensive day. It gets into seals, machines, suits, joints, filters, cameras, and basically anything you really need not to break. Which is inconvenient, because most space hardware costs more than everything I've ever owned combined. But that's the point. Every one of those problems is a preview. If astronauts can't land safely on the moon, they're not ready for Mars. If they can't keep power running, they're not ready for Mars. If they can't deal with dust, radiation, oxygen, water, pressure, heat, repairs, and emergencies, then Mars isn't an adventure. It's just a very expensive way to learn the obvious. So Artemis has a survival checklist. Can we land? Can we breathe? Can we make power? Can we keep people warm when it's freezing and cool when it's burning hot? Can we protect astronauts from radiation? Can we keep dust out of the things keeping people alive? Can we use the rovers, habitats, spacesuits, landers, and life support as one working system? And maybe the most important question, can we come home? Because a one-way trip isn't exploration. That's just a tragedy with a better branding. This is the part of space travel that doesn't always get the hype. Rockets are exciting, launches are exciting, astronauts walking on the moon is obviously exciting, but the future of space is also batteries. Filters, seals, plumbing, backup systems, repair tools, checklists, stuff that sounds boring until it's the only reason someone gets to keep breathing. On Earth, a bad camping trip is annoying. On the moon, forgetting one system is how the documentary gets a sad ending. And yeah, it's fair to question the costs. Space exploration is expensive, it's dangerous, and people are allowed to ask whether it's worth it. That question definitely matters, but if humans are serious about going farther than Earth, somebody has to solve the survival problems first. Not in a speech, not in a polished animation, not in a press conference where everything sounds easy. It's the real environment, with real hardware, with real people depending on it. That's why the moon matters again. Not because we need another photo of a footprint, not because the moon is the final destination, and not because NASA just wanted Apollo Part 2. The moon matters because it's close enough to test the future and dangerous enough to make the test count. The heroic part isn't just getting there, it's figuring out how not to die once Earth isn't nearby. So when NASA says it's going back to the moon, the real story isn't nostalgia, it's preparation. The moon isn't the goal, it's the proving ground. And what we learn there may decide whether Mars stays a dream or becomes the next place humans learn to survive.